It's another side that like wants to take more, but wants to go that one more round. Because like going that one more round when you don't think you can, that's what makes all the difference in your life. You know what I mean?
All right, so Katie, how are you doing today?
Good. I'm very excited for the sequence we're going to cover today.
Yes, this is very exciting. We're going to be covering a wonderful montage today. We're going to go into a little bit of the announcements because we're going to do this and still do it in 2 episodes. We're not going to say drag it out. I don't want to make this another hour and a half episode just to get the fight in. So I think what we'll do is...
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, good. Pre-show banter. How has your holidays been? And Happy New Year to you.
Same to you. Yes. I had a wonderful Christmas. I actually have on, I don't know if you can see it, I have a custom Christmas sweatshirt that I had made. It's me and the dogs. So it's...
Oh, that is awesome. I love it.
Yeah. It's me with my signature drink, which is bubbly, and 2 bloodhounds with Christmas Santa hats and their names. So it's still technically Christmassy season, but those of you listening, it will be 2024. Right. So Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everyone. Your question was, sorry, I stepped on you there.
Were you able to video chat or at least talk with your family for Christmas?
Absolutely. Oh, of course. I video chat with my family every day. But I also called my brothers. I have 3 brothers. So I called each one of their families. And then I have 2 adult children. I called them and their wife and fiance. So I called them. So I have a big extended family. 2024 is shaping up to be a busy year. I've got 2 wedding ceremonies to attend. Like one son's already married, but they didn't have a ceremony. So I'm going to his ceremony in May. And I'm going to another ceremony in September in 2024. So,
oh my gosh, both of your adult sons are going to be married, and they're pretty young too, aren't they?
Yeah, 25 and 23. They've been with both of their respective others for 5 years each.
Oh, wow.
They dated young, like 18, or even younger for both of them. And they're amazing. My daughter-in-law and my future daughter-in-law are amazing. They are the sweetest.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, they're great gals. And my son screw up. It's their fault. It won't be my daughter-in-law's fault. So, and I'll still love my sons even if they screw up. But
oh, hello. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We're just going to go into the emails now. We just that pre-show banter stuff. You know, the old same old.
Same old.
So the email we have says, today, I found myself reflecting on Mickey's Gym, and I thought, who better to share these thoughts with than you guys? I've always been captivated by Mickey's Gym. I've viewed street views of its actual exterior locations countless times, delved into all available information about where the interior scenes were filmed, and absorbed any behind-the-scenes details I could find. I'm aware that the interiors of the gym in the first of the 3 Rocky films were from an authentic boxing gym in LA. For Rocky V, they recreated an exact replica of this interior on a set since the original gym had been demolished. I'm also thrilled that a revamped version of this gym appears in Creed. In fact, it felt plausible that it was the same gym post-renovation. One aspect that consistently puzzles me is the actual exterior filming location doesn't seem to accommodate the gym's size depicted in the films. Since the films don't fully reveal the building's dimensions, I've assumed that its on-screen size is larger than the real location. I've often wondered if there were any fictitious floor plans of the gym circulating. I'd be intrigued to see them. Does Mickey own the entire building? Does he reside there? My assumption has always been that the gym occupies the top floor, given that the characters in the Rocky and Creed films ascend stairs to reach it. What occupies the other floors? If anyone possessing intriguing trivia about Mickey's Gym or related topics, I'd love to hear it. Happy New Year, everyone. Keep punching, Jared.
Great email, Jared. Thank you so much. So basically, what the F with Mickey's building? I know, because if you look at the building in the front, it always liken it to a cheese wedge. You know, those cheese wheels. You get that piece of cheese that looks like a triangle. I think he's saying it's a narrow front, but it does go wide at the back, and we've got multiple floors. So is there a building design out there, like kind of a movie prop set of Mickey's Gym? I don't know.
I think it does fit. I don't have any problems with it, I guess.
Okay.
In that
it's a narrow entrance. It's a narrow entrance, let's say. Is that what you're
sure,
saying?
but that's like the vestibule and the stairway and stuff. Once you're like in the room, I think it doesn't look palatial by any means. I do believe the gym is on the first floor. They maybe go up a few steps to get into just the entrance. Okay. Mickey lives above it. You go up a stairway. Mickey lives above it. So I think the building has multiple bays, so to speak, and Mickey probably does own one of them.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look here, Google Maps, and I'm actually going to use their measurement tool to see how wide it is at its widest point.
Oh, somebody likes your eyebrows, Katie. I assume they're talking about your eyebrows and not mine.
Well, I just saw that too, and I was like, "That's okay, interesting."
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Whoever's eyebrows you were commenting on, I'm sure we all appreciate.
Maybe they're Kyle's. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe they're Kyle's eyebrows. Who knows? Okay.
I just did a measurement of the building roughly at its widest point in the back. It's roughly 40 feet across.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the widest point, but then the narrowest point near the entrance.
But it's long.
Yeah. The entrance, it's only like 14 feet, and then the entire building is 50 feet. If I were to make a square, if just the back section, it'd be 30 feet by about 40 feet. That would be like 1,200 square feet. So it's not like huge.
Well, it doesn't look
big. It doesn't look big. I think that's
right.
plausible. I find that believable.
Yeah. So, Jared, there you go. I hope able to assuage your question.
I appreciate the tidbits about the behind the scenes. Like there was a real gym in LA, and then they recreated it for the 5th one. And so, thank you. Good tidbits.
Well, Jared is an accomplished host himself. He's a TV personality. He has his own podcast. It's what's it called again? Can you remind me? It's 20. No, I got it. It's 25 astronauts podcasting in space in the 30th century. So check out his podcast. He's a great guy. Again, he's a TV personality. This guy is like rubbing elbows with Lionel Richie, Stallone's wife. This guy, I tell you, Jared,
he met Paula Abdul.
That's right. I just saw a TikTok.
He's
video
met a lot of people.
Or Instagram. I don't know what I have. Instagram, Paula Abdul dancing with her daughter, I think. And she looked great. Great.
I haven't seen her in a while. I loved Paula growing up.
She looks fantastic. She looks great. And she was dancing with her daughter, some sort of TikTok dance. Of course, some of the comments, change that dance. It's your old dance. I'm like, that's what she's doing. She's doing
that's
a throwback.
That's the whole point.
I know.
Come on, people.
People are so negative. Why?
The human brain is biased towards negativity, specifically information you receive. Negative information you receive, your brain puts more weight to it than positive information you receive. So,
as like a cautionary, like, don't get eaten by the tiger type thing.
Yeah, it could be that. And also like self-esteem kind of stuff. If someone says one negative comment to you about your appearance, that hits a lot harder than 5 positive comments about your appearance type of thing.
Yeah, like Rudy, who said in our Twitch chat, I like your eyebrows. See, that's a positive comment. Now, if somebody says, Ryan, you have a big forehead, I'd be like, come on. Hey, it's not very nice. It might hurt my feelings a little bit. Yeah, that's true, Kyle. You're right. That happens all the time. I get comments on YouTube sometimes. They're I would say they're negative, but I get them all the time on our channel or sometimes with the comments on Facebook. It's like, ugh. Those ones sting a little bit, even though you got lots of people saying, hey, I got emails or Facebook messages for people. And they say, hey, I like your show. I got one today for someone who listens to the Ramble podcast. They're like, hey, I love your show and I want to send you an email. And I hear that. But if a day later, if I get someone crapping on the show, I'm like, oh, come on. But I know you got to focus on the people that are enjoying the things that you do. That's what you got to focus on. Okay.
The ratio is about 7-1. You need about 7 good comments for 1 bad comment.
Wow. 7, huh? Okay.
Yeah. So all right, if someone criticizes Ryan, we got to step it up.
Oh, no one's criticized me. It's been a while since I got a real hearty criticism. Okay, so before we move on, of course, to the training montage, thank you so much, Jared, again, for that email. Send us an email, folks. Give us a review on your podcast apps. It's free. Join my Patreon if you'd like to get these early releases or just to give me a tip for all the editing and the software and all that garbage. And lastly, I know people don't always listen to, like, I got some listeners who listen to the Ramble and the Rocky podcast. To those who don't listen to my Ramble podcast, I want to be very brief here because I gave a big update on that latest episode about the Rocky Day, Sly, the Stallone shop. And Kyle hasn't heard this, and so I want to share it with Kyle. And if anyone's listening to this, you can get a bit of an update. So I'll be 3 to 5 minutes max, okay? I'll be quick. So long story short, I have a friend who's friends with Sly. And he's an inside guy. Trust me when I say this guy knows Sly and he knows what he's talking about. Okay. He listened to my Rambo podcast where me and Dom kind of crapped all over the Stallone shop and everything like that because it looks like a trailer. It looks like a trailer at the bottom of the steps. And we try to be entertaining. So we're just taking the mick out of it a little bit, right? This individual messaged me, goes, "Oh, I heard your podcast." And I'm like, "Oh boy." He goes, "Oh, I want to talk to you." And I'm like, "Oh," and I actually messaged him back, said, "As long as you're not mad at me, I'll talk to you." He goes, No, I'm not mad at you. So anyways, he wanted to give me some clarification about the contest. Remember, Kyle, I said people was handpicked, right?
Yes, I remember that.
Okay, so he gave me some deets, some legit deets. So yes, they were handpicked. So at the end of the day, they were handpicked. Not all of them. Stallone took a picture with 75 to 85 people. Of those 85, Nick, who runs the Stallone shop, who ran the contest, he had control of 20 names. That's it. The other 65 odd people were people that the city of Philadelphia and the Arts Museum people are like, "Hey, if you want to run this Rocky Day and you want to have the shop, you got to throw some favors." And those were people that the mayor and professionals at the hospital care work. Great. And they're all hardworking people in Philly. They got their chance to have their picture Sly. It was kind of like, yes, you can run this event. Yes, you can set up your shop down at the bottom of the steps. Yes, it cannot be a brick and mortar store. It has to be a trailer, and it's only a 3-year lease. After 3 years, they're going to reinvestigate if they want to keep it there. Nick had no control over how many people. So of the 20 odd people that saw Sly from the contest, there was only maybe 10 max that won. The other 10 were handpicked, and these were handpicked individuals that, for example, one guy, he actually paid to see Sly in California, but that event got canceled, or the part of the event that got canceled to meet Sly got canceled. He actually said, "Hey," to this individual who missed that event, saying, "You're going to meet Sly. I'm going to make sure you're going to meet Sly." So out of the goodness of his heart, he grabbed like all these people that missed Sly, that opportunity to meet Sly at this opportunity. So that's really cool. So they were handpicked in that event. That's why we knew a lot of these names. So yes, there were winners, but it was a very nominal amount. And so what I said to my friend was, "Hey, as long as one person won, then the contest is legit." That's why it was a little bit misconstrued about the numbers, about the people we knew. So that's kind of the long story of it. So the shop is temporary. The city of Philadelphia and the Arts Museum, they strong-armed Nick to get a lot more of their people to meet Sly. Sly was exhausted by person 70. He was exhausted, but he stuck it out. I mean, keep in mind, he is 77 years old. Yeah, but anyways, that's it. That's the update. People can add me later if they want, but that's the update. Katie, did you have anything to add or any questions about it? Did I miss anything?
No, I think you covered it very nicely. I don't know why I was like, 85 people. And him being tired by the end. Do you think he put hand sanitizer on between
probably?
each
You think at least 1 minute per person. That's at least an hour and a half just standing there in the rain, in the cold, and you have to do that speech and the whole event. And it was interesting insight from my friend who just mentioned that he looked fatigued by that.
I'm sure just being on he's used to it. He's a big superstar, but taking pictures for a long time, I can't smile like for a picture, like for a prolonged period. My face starts to shake.
Like he was saying the other day. He's like, when you take that one extra picture when you don't think you can, it makes all the difference in your life.
It makes all the difference with the fans. So to Sly's credit, he gave the same smile, the same punch to every fan. And I know we take the mick out of him sometimes, and that's all part of the game. But he really was truly a gentleman to do all that, to meet everyone. And I guess this Rocky Day thing is going to be a yearly thing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is I think it's going to be tied in with the Rocky Run. Speaking of the Rocky Run, so if my friend's listening to this episode, I always reach out to the Rocky Run guys every year, and this guy's friends with those people. Like, I've asked for an interview. They're too good for me. They won't do an interview with me. I want to help plug their run, even though they don't need my plugging. But I've always wanted to talk about it. I know, pish posh people.
You guys, we're gonna have to meet up. Maybe not on Rocky Day. I'd almost rather not have a go a separate time.
Whenever we arrive, it's Rocky Day. We'll do deets offline, but long story short, my intent was to go in the summer of 24, but due to I'm going to 2 different weddings. I have to fly to both of them. It's going to cut a lot of my travel budget to go to 2 different weddings this year. My 2 boys. I don't know if you're there for that, Kyle. It's a busy year for me to fly, and it's costly. So I don't think I can make a trip to Philly and pay for that as well. I'm hoping spring, summer 25, that will be my goal. I can plan it with my wife, and my goal is to go by myself, really, so I could just do everything without kids and not drag them around and my wife and bore her to tears. So just get everything done. Meet you guys if you want to fly there. Doug from Rocky Minute, my friend that I talked to, he'll be there. So I get to meet people. That's my goal. So anyways,
I may or may not. My wife's going back to school in January for a couple of years, so I'm gonna be poor as shit for the next couple of years.
But you've been there at least. Katie and I haven't been there yet. So
Yeah, but I can't miss you guys being there.
I
I'm gonna have to hitchhike.
know.
well, summer 25, start pilfering away the funds. So
Yeah.
you know.
I'll have
All
to
right.
start embezzling
It's-
money or something.
We'll share a bed. All three of us will share a bed. We'll share a queen size. Okay.
Queen size.
Katie's in the middle. Katie's in the middle. Hit the one in the middle.
Jesus Christ, Brian.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm terrible. Okay.
Uh,
Are we ready to go into the training montage? So again, if you're watching this,
I was
well,
born
and
ready
listen-
for the bromance, you guys.
Yeah, I see that. Now I am going to mute the music straight up, guys. I can't play it. It's going to be Eye of the Tiger, and I can't play it. It's going to get a copyright hit, so it's going to be muted. So just if you really have to hear the Eye of the Tiger playing, because we're going to pause it anyways 100 times, it's going to be irritating.
Do
anyways.
you want me to sing it? Well, instead,
You could, but then we're going to have to wait till you're stop singing so we can comment. It's up to you. You can start if you'd like, and then
I'll be like just like the recording. If you pause, I pause.
Oh, jeez.
It's the
Okay.
eye of the tiger. It's the thrill of the fight.
No,
Yeah, no, I think we're
Okay.
good. I think we can hum in our heads. I think we got it.
Okay.
All right, so here we go, folks. So, of course, they just ended with the kiss. I love you, and I really love you. Okay, so we're going to go into the training montage. Yes, that music kicks in. I know. I wish I could play it, but
and then we're gonna see Rocky and Apollo as clothed as they're gonna be.
Mhm.
right. So they start their run early morning. I guess, is that the idea? This is first thing in the
Yeah.
morning. It's a little bit
Yeah.
chilly.
Cold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're wearing their tracksuits, and Kyle, you're absolutely right. This is the most covered we'll see them. As the training montage progresses, they wear less clothing.
This is my theory. When you fight someone, there's a certain level of intimacy there, and they fought twice. They know each other on a level that two other men might not otherwise know each other, and so there's a certain comfort level there.
We're seeing them develop. Here is when they become best friends, setting up the big boss in Rocky 4. Like,
What?
I actually think it's,
He loses. All dies. What the?
you know, we're seeing the friendship develop.
Now, Rocky's wearing that towel around the neck. Is that right? He's wearing that. What's the purpose of the towel around the neck? Have we figured that out yet?
It just reminds you when you get a haircut and they put that thing around your neck so hair doesn't go down your shirt.
Sly ain't getting a haircut. And he's not getting a haircut. He's
True
holding
that.
on to that hair as long as he can.
For the sweat, I don't know. I think it's a personal preference. Some fighters used to do it. And then it's you just have a towel handy when you need to wipe your face off.
I guess so. Even at the beginning of this montage, Rocky doesn't quite have the rhythm yet. That, of course, that will be found by the end of it. So he's hitting that, again, I don't know what to call this exercise ball, but it's that kind of bouncy, punchy ball that's on a tension wire that he's got to hit, that it moves every time you hit it. So Apollo's showing him, no, Rocky, not like that, like this. And so he shows it. He goes, just flick it. See? He's telling Rocky, just flick the ball. That's all you got to do is flick the ball.
Rocky is hitting this thing with power shots. Apollo's basically teaching him how to jab. He's like, just flick it, just like throw light punches here. This is like totally foreign to Rocky. I don't think, other than those two jabs he threw in the second fight, I don't think he's ever jabbed anyone before.
Now they're doing the dancing in front of the mirror. So again, Apollo's teaching him how to dance. And I love how close Apollo's standing behind Rocky. I love that. You know, he's checking out his lats. He's checking out his buttocks. He's making sure that Rocky's in the right rhythm.
And this brought to you
look
by
how-
Nike Shoe Company.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's a hot look. I love it. It's great. They're sweaty. They're glistening.
Obviously, a lot of these, this like the same 4 exercises will be shown as they progress and get better with each one. But now, again, is this sunrise, sunset? Is this the same morning? They're running again. We never are really told how long the montage is. Is it for 5 weeks? Is it? Can we figure how long they're training for here?
Okay, yeah, like a camp could be probably like 6 to 12 weeks. So 12 weeks would be a long camp. I'm going to say a couple months they're training for.
Oh, so of course, this is the first running part of the kind of the race. They've got the flag there to indicate at the end of the line. And what I love here is that Apollo's so far ahead. Like, this is, of course, the early days of the training, that Apollo's so far ahead of Rocky that he can turn himself around and run backwards and still beat Rocky. He's like, come on, one more time, come on. So this is to indicate that Apollo's still single-handedly beating Rocky in the race. You know, like Rocky's not faster than Apollo yet.
I'm sure you guys have noticed, obviously, like Apollo's just got that we've talked about, he's just got a natural athleticness to him, but their body types are so different, both very visually appealing, very much so, but very different. Sylvester Stallone really has to work to get his body's just not naturally built. You can tell that Apollo's just got kind of a natural athleticness to him,
yeah.
and his muscles align accordingly. I find it very, well, I like to look at it. I like to compare them.
Sure.
And Rocky doesn't really have a butt. And Apollo,
yeah, I noticed that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apollo's got really strong like glute muscles.
Rocky passes on the nice butt to his son Robert. Yeah. He's got a nice butt.
And that's kind of emblematic of Sly in general. Like Sly's like someone who worked really hard to get what he's got. I don't think people will say Sly is necessarily a natural at anything. Although I would say probably if Sly's a natural at anything, I would say it would script writing.
Yeah.
How he bagged out the Rocky script is like an amateur, basically, like an amateur writer. Like he wasn't trained to do that, and he did that. In terms of like physicality and stuff, I'd say Sly is probably more athletic than the average person out there. But if you get into like the top tier of people, he's not. But he's worked his way through, and I think that's true with acting as well. So it's kind of like it just goes along with the typical Rocky movies where life is imitating art and vice versa.
Good points. Yeah, it's just very evident in these scenes where everything is just coming so easily and naturally to Apollo, and it's really hard for Rocky.
Which is good to have because it's like Apollo is trained this way his whole career, right? So it's like you would expect this to be natural for him. He's been doing this forever. If you think about it, Rocky just, if you go by the movie timeline, 3-4 years ago, was learning the basics of footwork, where Mickey had to tie a string between his ankles.
True.
The basic boxing that you would learn as a teenager. And Apollo would have already been a seasoned pro by that time. Rocky is probably way behind in terms of footwork. He never had good footwork. He says that. And all of a sudden now he's being compared to someone who has natural ability. He has put way more time in.
His legs are phenomenal. We get a lot of scenes, but I think that's his like standout.
Sly looks amazing in this film, and yeah, you took the words out of my mouth there, Katie, regarding this pause here. Yeah, look at the definition and Sly's legs. Yeah, it's fantastic.
I love how they made Apollo put a t-shirt on under his tank top to show
look at that pause there. Come on, look at that pause. Okay. Oh my gosh, remind me to take a screenshot of this now. If they, my gosh,
that is
super.
Yeah.
Come on, say it.
All right.
Is that a little bit gay?
It's like it's if they were in bed, but they're not.
I think they're on a pride float at the moment.
That is a pride float. I got to screenshot that right. I got it right now. I got it. It's too good to. That's a great. These shorts make me look fat, Apollo.
No, he's reaching. So, listeners, he's reaching his one arm back with his head.
Oh, he's reaching around, all right. He's reaching around.
Not that way. Just sort of like to touch his partner's.
He looks like he's on the dance floor grinding against Apollo.
Yes, he does look like he's grinding. Yeah.
And this isn't even the dance.
Oh, that's a good. That's a good caption. 3 a.m. at the nightclub.
Yeah.
I love it. Staying Alive playing. Oh my gosh. So now Adrian's loving this. She's loved seeing her man dancing, having a good time, training. She's loving. Look at that smile. Okay, what is Rocky wearing here? This is silliness.
Why even wear that?
I don't know.
I don't know if she's on or not. But my mom told me some comment about these tank top in the 80s. Yeah, a reason for it, but I can't remember what it was.
Oh, there's no reason for it.
There's a reason for everything. Mom, if you're listening.
The reason is to call attention to his amazing abdominals. Right?
Yeah, I know. Well, it does, and that's what it's doing. But is that the reason these things exist?
No, there is no actual reason. I mean, I'll be shocked if, really?
Alistair's absolutely correct. This is where Paul's getting very curious. Curiouser and curiouser as we go along. That's for sure. Sly looks great. He's got, and I love that Sly's wearing the headband. I'm what Sly/Rocky. That he's wearing the headband while he's training to catch the sweat from going in your eyes. I've said this before, probably on this podcast, where I wish I had the balls to wear a headband. Because it works. When I'm jogging in the summer, it works. So I actually bring a sweat cloth with me and I wipe it. Because when I'm jogging out in the heat, you're sweating and it goes in your eyes. So you just do the wipe on the forehead and it's a little sweat cloth. I just do this so I can catch it.
Just wear a headband.
I would, but the problem is, like I said, it's in the summertime. That's when you get the suntan on your face. So I would actually have a
tan line.
You'd actually have a tan line. Like I would wear it if it wasn't for the tan. I know, again, that would look ridiculous. Having a tan line where the headband is, it looks more ridiculous than wearing the headband, if that makes sense. Okay. Sly looks amazing here, of course, and he's got that tank top, and that's, again, for our audio listeners, the tank top. There's no, aesthetically it's great, but there's no functionality for the tank top. What is the functionality?
It's a tank top, but the bottom part is cut off.
That's right. Sorry. It's a cut off tank top. My apologies. Okay.
Tony's liking it.
Well, of course he is.
Yeah.
Now, Sly, what I've said before, we said this before about the speed bag. Rocky, the character, of course, is good at it, but Sly is good at the speed bag.
Yeah.
And I love how he always has to showcase that, and rightfully so, to showcase his skill. Yeah. We've asked this. Can you do a speed bag? I've tried, and
I've never tried it before.
I haven't either.
It's experience just like you'd think it'd be. You'd hit it, and it comes back. You're not ready.
I gotta show you a video of this boxing trainer demonstrating how to use a speed bag, and it's just like this fat guy that you wouldn't think could be good at a speed bag, but this guy is insane. Like, it isn't just he's doing it fast. He's like switching up timing, switching up arms, switching up directions. His coordination is on point. I'll share that with you later.
For Rocky not having much rhythm, the speed bag does require quite a bit of rhythm. Yeah.
Rhythm and coordination. Because it hits, when you hit it, like I said, it bounces right back, and you got to be ready to hit it just right so it doesn't stop. You keep it moving. You keep moving forward with that speed bag. Look at this old pool. Why is that draining into the pool like that? You see that? I don't
see where those yellow pylon things are.
Yeah.
If you look carefully, there was like a grate that runs between them.
Right.
And that's where water from the deck of the pool, it's probably sloped, so it goes into the grate, which runs into the pipe, and the pipe goes back into the pool.
Oof. Okay.
I mean, I think there's worse things than pools, Ryan. People are peeing in there.
I pee in there all the time. You have to. I'm not getting out of the pool. Come on, it's a waste of time. All right, so now Apollo's like, good, 5 more laps. He's happy with Rocky's progress on his swimming. Now he's doing, what's that, the butterfly?
Yeah, he's doing the butterfly, which like he didn't know how to swim before. Now he's doing the butterfly. So it's
now he's doing the butterfly.
That Rocky actually does have ability and talent that he's catching on to these things so quickly.
The butterfly's hard,
absolutely.
I think.
Yeah, butterfly is really hard.
Also, Apollo's, when they were at the pool, he had a super sweet sweatsuit, Nike brown, like velour tracksuit on. Brown was probably not a great choice, but it was 1985.
Oh, this is 82, right?
82, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm on the wrong movie. 82. Yeah, you're right.
How dare you? You're fired.
I know.
I have clothes that are like years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I don't think Apollo does, though. He's got brand new stuff.
Sure, he probably has like a tracksuit for the 70s that he likes. Like, you have like your tracksuit. This is my tracksuit. I like this tracksuit.
Mm-hmm.
There's the late, great Burt Young chorus holding the punching pads for Rocky to hit. And he's got a cigar. Why not? Why not smoke a cigar while you're training?
You guys, he has a cut-off sweatshirt on. We've never really seen Paulie sleeveless.
Look at those pipes.
Who do you think could punch harder, Burt Young or Sly Stallone?
Well, I know Burt was a boxer. Yeah, obviously Stallone's got the physique.
Bars, you have that punch bag where you punch it and it measures your power. Mm-hmm. Like, right. I wonder who could land the harder shot.
Interesting.
I do think Stallone, only because he's in shape, not only just physique-wise, but Paulie, back in the day, in his prime, maybe could, but he's out of shape.
He took out those punks for Rocky when they were teenagers.
I'll argue this: power is the last thing that goes. So even if like you have extra fat on you, you're not going to be less powerful. You'll be slower. You'll fatigue easier. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but
I know. But Stallone is like perfectly conditioned.
I'm talking one single shot, though.
I think Stallone. You know, maybe 20 years ago it would have been different.
Too bad we can never test it, because if they were able to measure like the machine they have in Rocky IV to measure the pounds per square inch, it'd be interesting to see who could hit harder 4 times each, and the best score wins. It'd be interesting to test it, because Burt Young, and I'm not talking about the characters, I'm talking about the actual real people in real life.
Right.
Because Burt Young, he's a trained boxer himself, so it'd be interesting to see who could actually make that punch the hardest. It'd be curious. It'd be curious to find out.
We do see him in his wife beater too. It's just odd to see Paulie sleeveless.
Yeah. Of course, Rocky gives him these little playful jabs after his practice. Again, to indicate that Rocky's headspace is on par. He's as happy-go-lucky. He's training, having fun. He's having a great old time.
The Rocky movies show one thing. It shows that the psychology has so much to do with how well you do. In basically anything, right?
Just wait, slow down.
Stop. I was like, please pause. This is my favorite part.
Don't worry. Okay.
Sorry, Kyle. I didn't mean to.
Kyle was talking about something important.
I know.
You're just slobbering over.
Katie is like a 13-year-old girl watching this thing.
I mean, you guys, look at them.
What I love is that they're basically naked, but they have to have their socks pulled up. Like, no. We're not going to show too much leg.
It's hot. It's a hot look. They always do close-ups of the shoes to remind it. Like there's always little close-ups of Apollo's jacket to show it's Nike, close-up of the shoes to show that they're Nike. It's all over the place.
If Nike didn't pay them for this, they are idiots. Whoever made this film, I'm
sure there's sponsors for every film.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you there was some sort of deal. At this point, at the height of Rocky, there's no way that Nike isn't aware of this and they're wearing all those brands. There's, it's part of the costume design.
Because
right?
Rocky 4 is Adidas. Everything's Adidas, right? So they must have been
with Boss and Boss.
Yeah, Hugo Boss.
For our audio, I mean, everyone that's listened to this on the audio only, they know exactly what we're talking about. They've seen this movie 100 times, so they're doing the dance. Now they're in step, they're in sync, they're doing the dance together. What I love is the behind the scenes stuff because they had to practice this dance together as actors. I would love to see that footage of them practicing. Okay, Carl. Left, right, left, right. They had to practice this for the camera. This isn't the first take. This is, I don't know how many times they would have to practice getting in step with your back, forth, left, right, back, forth, left. Oh,
and they're basically naked. Yeah, they just have
basically naked.
Just tiny little shorts on. They're still in the shitty gym. Did you guys clock the old style water fountain, drinking fountain?
Oh yeah. Oh, it probably
remember
doesn't work.
those?
Oh yeah.
And Rocky, now we're back on the beach because he's getting better and better. I am.
So this is from Louise, but Katie's laughing at. Louise says, Katie is worse than the groupie at Rocky's open workout. Yeah, I agree.
You
Katie,
guys.
settle down.
Oh, but I do love the Italian stallion colors he's sporting here. The yellow tank top and the black shorts. And then Apollo's wearing his colors, red shorts.
Okay, so now what we have to do is who has the bigger package? I mean, that's where we're at now.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's Apollo.
Well, I guarantee it's Apollo. You guys, innocently, I'm not even looking. I'm looking at their actual body parts.
It's hard to tell with Rocky because if his shorts are black too. It's harder to spot the bulge.
Well, I think it's like that Risky Business. When you pause it just right, you can see Tom Cruise's wiener. Is that what happens in Risky Business? Is that the urban legend or something?
Sometimes you could be a grower.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It was the Italian sausage. Good things come in small packages. What's that?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. All right, so now we're back in the ring, and Paul's just showing them more like, hey, Rocky, this is how you jab. I love this. Really? All right.
Good.
Jab.
Why don't you just throw the
Okay, let me try.
Jab. Jab. What I love here is Apollo is wearing the colors of the LGBTQ plus community. Look at that shirt.
He is.
Rainbows did not become the...
Hey, don't.
Stop
Apollo's ahead of the time. Just let us retcon this.
Okay.
Let us retcon
Stop your
this.
bigotry, Katie.
Yeah, I know.
We don't want to
Let
hear
Apollo...
this.
Apollo is wearing the colors. He's wearing the colors to. This is all subliminal. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what the scene's all about and what's coming up later with their big hug in the ocean.
It's the Pink Floyd album cover is basically what his shirt is. So,
yeah, Apollo listens to Pink Floyd in my butt. He has more of a chance of being gay with Rocky than listening to Pink Floyd.
That's true. That's true.
So now Rocky's going in and doing his. Of course, they're just glistened up.
Rocky's really slow. Like when he was throwing those punches there.
He's tired.
Yeah. I think speed is an actual issue for him.
Like he always said, we need speed, greasy, fast speed.
I feel like that's a dumb strategy. Like it's just not his strong suit. You're not going to outspeed Apollo. Like what are you talking about? But
thankfully he's fighting clever. He's fighting clever.
Yes, exactly. You get away with this now because you're fighting someone who's also not fast. But
well, don't forget, Apollo says he didn't teach him everything. So even Apollo during this sequence is holding back on Rocky. If you can believe it, Apollo's not teaching Rocky everything. Keep that in mind, folks. Okay, so now Paul's telling Rocky to skip faster. Go on, kick it as he's skipping rope. And of course, Rocky kills the rope.
He's so good at the rope.
Yes.
I really enjoy the jumping rope sequences in these movies. He's good at it. Also, I want, oh God, if I could be Adrian right here.
Yeah. So look at her man as he just destroys the rope. She's basically sliding off the stool right now.
And she's got a towel, like she's the towel girl.
And Rocky comes in for the kiss, which I love. It's so cute.
He wipes his mouth first like a gentleman.
Like a gentleman. Right. Yes.
And I'm in love with Adrian there. She just looks so adorable there. Oh, looking up every man. I wish I had Adrian looking at me like that. That'd be amazing.
So like just the sequence, you had it paused before. Rocky is trying his every ounce of his might. And Apollo's just jogging.
So we know what happens at the end of this race. I'll keep it plain. So Kyle, are you saying that Apollo the most competitive man in the film,
No.
Apollo, truly let Rocky win.
No, I don't think that.
Okay.
I don't think so. Because you're right. He is too competitive. But I don't think Sly will ever be able to run faster than Carl. Carl probably actually gave that to him. You know what I mean?
I don't know. That's good. But we know that Sly can run fast. Look at the scene of the docks.
Like, I bet he'd run faster than a lot of people, but like Carl Weathers was a pro football player that has a better running body than Sly does.
And you can see it when they're running. And that's kind of what my point was. Like, Carl was an athlete for like a living. It's just clear that he has more natural ability in this realm. Clearly, for the sequence, we're supposed to think that Rocky gets so much better over time that he actually is able to beat Apollo. But since Apollo's and him being competitive, his role here is actually trainer. So you could argue he lets Rocky win just to put that in his head.
If you've met really competitive people in your life, it's like a pathology. They have to win. It's an obsession. I hate losing more than I like winning type of thing. So like allowing someone to win, it just goes against their instinct. I don't believe the Apollo would take a dive.
No, it wouldn't do Rocky any good for Apollo to do that anyway. He wants everything to be real. But Alistair is saying that he thinks Apollo let Sly win, so he's on that. If there's anyone watching us on Instagram, we've got people joining in now. We want to say hi to everyone who's watched us on Instagram. We've had a good handful of people pop in, but I can't tell if they stay. It just tells me when they join, which is great. I don't expect people to stay for the whole thing, so people have popped in. So let us know if you're there in the chat, if Apollo let Rocky win. Louise is saying, no, Rocky earned that win. I agree with Louise.
Alistair said Carl let Sly win. I don't think he's talking about the character. He's talking about the actors.
I went with the characters. Okay, fair enough.
Alistair also inquires, do you think Stallone had any awareness of the gay undertones when he was making this?
He edited the film.
I don't think so.
I think they were both so vain, both Carl and Sly, that they just wanted to showcase their bodies. I think they were so in their own vanity that they didn't see it.
Fair enough. And I love Adrian's little smiles and stuff through the sequence. After Rocky does the dodging of Apollo in the corner, and then he throws Apollo in the corner, and Apollo's like, "Whoa, look at you!" And then even Adrian's impressed with that, and she's got this face of just like she is just loving Rocky's training here. I'm just gonna go back just a smidgen because I just want to show you Adrian's little. I just love her smile and happiness to see her man do this. Watch Adrian's face as Rocky dekes out Apollo's punching here, and she's so happy.
There was something I saw that's interesting. They were using that bag, the one that's suspended from both sides vertically with the ball. Rocky had to move his head like this side to side to avoid punches, which is really, really, really something he should have learned for his first two fights. That would have saved him a lot of brain and eye damage. He doesn't seem to do that with Clubber because Clubber only throws hook punches. Clubber basically never throws a straight shot, which you'd have to move your head side to side for. You basically have to move your head down like this to avoid. They should have been practicing that instead, which I know is me being picky. But still, I do like that it's showing Rocky how to dodge punches. That's probably one of the most irritating things I find about these films.
It is. It's odd. They could have done everything that they did in the films. They could have done it. And I don't know why. I've seen like a few like reaction channels of YouTubers reacting to the Rocky films. And it's interesting to see their 2023 eyes watching the Rocky films. And they're young people like, millennials or even younger, like 20, 22-year-olds, 24-year-olds and stuff watching these films, right? And it's interesting watching them, and they're confused. Like as movie watchers, they're not critical so much as they're just confused. Like they're like, why isn't Rocky blocking? And it is an odd choice that Sly did. I think he stopped a little bit with Rocky Balboa. I think we can reinvestigate that when we get to part 6. Is that I think he did more blocking, and then in the Creed films, it's definitely there's more blocking by the boxers. They recognize that at least as filmmakers. Like, hey, come on, the boxers block. You can still win and lose and get hit. But the idea that Rocky literally leads with his face, especially in part 2, and then even part 3, we'll see that in the next episode with the final fight. Like he's not getting mad. He's just gets hit in the face. It's I just don't know why of all the things that is the biggest criticism I actually have regarding the fights. I don't get the need to not block. I don't know why Sly decided why not just put he knows boxing. This guy's a boxing nut. Why the need to never really show Rocky block? I wonder why.
I can kind of answer that, kind of. Now, first of all, I want to say I agree with you.
It's rare when you do. I'll take it.
For the first film, Rocky's supposed to be based on Chuck Wepner, who was actually like that. His nickname was the Bayonne Bleeder. When he fought Muhammad Ali, I think you guys watched that fight, he did take a ton of hits to the face. Like one of the commenters noticed that, saying like, this guy just like leads with his face. He gets like, he's just letting himself get punched. And so I think that was the start of it. And then they just never changed. Like the second film was just like a bloodbath. Like I hate watching that fight. Like it's painful to watch just because
right.
He just gets the living shit beat out of him like most of the time. And then Rocky 3, he does like, I won't get too much of this fight because next episode, he dodges a little bit. Clubber does some cheap shots to allow him to land some punches. You'll actually notice that Rocky puts his hands up like this for some of Clubber's things. And he's like, "You're not so bad." And I was like, do that.
He does do it, but he doesn't do it enough to the point, like I said, but people watch this for the first time. That's one of the first things they say. They'll say in their reactions that makes it to YouTube, they're like, why is he not blocking? I don't understand. Why.
It's Rocky's kind of signature that he's got. Wasn't it in the first fight? I'd say the hardest head has to go to Rocky Balboa. And I know about that.
They could have done both. That's all. It just seems like it was too much. It just divided in half. We can still see him get hit in the head, but then we can still try to see him attempt to get blocked. And those blocks missed. Like at least the attempt gets made, but the punch still gets through. So both can happen. The attempt is made, but he's not a great blocker. It's just like there's just no attempt being made where it's like, why are you just exposing your head like that? It just seems odd. I'm not even a boxer, and it seems odd.
There is a scene in the first or second round of the first fight where Rocky does hold his gloves up right in front of his face.
Yeah.
And Apollo's hitting them. So he does a little bit of blocking. It is weird, but to those 22-year-olds or whatever watching the fight, they don't understand who Rocky's based off of.
Yeah.
Like he is based off a real guy who did let people punch him in the face like that. There's others like Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier had a good bob and weave style, so he did dodge a lot of punches. But Frazier was known as someone who liked getting hit. You'd hit him in the face to be like, yeah, I like that. Like keep trying, keep hitting me. That was kind of a psychological thing where you just hit him, and he'd be like, whatever.
All right.
Agreed.
Good stuff, guys.
I want to point out that Alistair says, I agree 100% with me. He agrees with me. Thanks, Alistair.
Yeah, Katie is single, Alistair. Keep it up. It's just bugging. I'm just bugging. He might be married. I forget. I think Alistair might be. Okay. Oh, hey, we got a new fellow on Twitch that I don't think we've ever seen before. Give us a comment. This is Random Rick Review. So he must have a review show. So Random Rick, if you want to plug your show in the chat, I'll be happy to plug it for you. He says, Rocky 3 is my favorite. From Clubber Lang to Eye of the Tiger, great 80s film in general. Yes, Random. It's Rocky 3 is a lot of people's favorite film. So thanks for chiming in. We appreciate your watching.
It's a solid film.
It's oozing 80s, and we wouldn't have any other way, which ties into way back in the conversation about 7 minutes ago regarding the question that Alistair asked, did Stallone know about the undertones? And the reason why it's no is because that was the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
That was the 80s. The midriff shirts and glistening bodies. The wrestlers were the same way back then. The glistening bodies and the ripped bodies and masculinity in that way and all that stuff was that way. And so that's why he didn't know, because that's why you don't see these films today. It wouldn't work if this was filmed like this in 2023. People would then say, "Oh wow, this is a homoerotic film. Interesting. Okay." It would be viewed that way, but we're now watching it through today's lenses. And that's where we, take the mick out of it a little bit and have some fun with it, because we're seeing it in today's movie eyes, right?
Older men have tended to be more homophobic, of course, but also do stuff that younger guys would never do now. For example, if you've ever walked into a change room, it is not that unusual for like old guys to be like naked around each other, talking in a circle, not getting changed. They're like just hanging out naked, like on purpose.
I think that's just like a cultural thing that has nothing to do with whether they're gay or straight.
Exactly.
No, it's not about gay or straight.
It's just your body is your body. Kids. We all have the same one. It doesn't matter.
That's my point. Is it like they do stuff that seems gay to us?
I don't think that seems gay. You wouldn't do that.
Ryan and I would never do that in a change room.
Okay.
No, like Ryan and I would never be like, naked in front of each other,
Kids,
just having a
'cause
chat.
there's kids. There's also kids in the pool. The swim. Look, as a child, I saw more penises as a child in the public swimming pool, like man penis. Like, I'm just being serious. When I went to go change as a kid, I saw men walking around with their schlongs all the time. Like, oh my gosh, does nobody cover up around here? Like, it's just weird to see. I'm 8 years old and I've seen 40 and above year old men walking around nude, and that really has calmed down a lot in public pools now. They have family change rooms. Look, I prefer not to see all that man.
Yeah, I think it is a remnant of immigrants coming from Europe because
maybe.
Well, I'm American. I don't know about in Canada, but we're very like sexually repressed here. If you go to a beach and like European, it's just very different. And I think like maybe it's a holdover from older men tend to be immigrants. Like bathhouses and steam rooms, like that's a thing for like old.
I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make here is that women do it too, I've been told. Hang out naked together. At least up here they do.
It is probably more an age and cultural thing. Like younger people don't as much. Like I'm not opposed to being naked in front of other people, but it's not, we don't just like
for the Philadelphia trip.
You know what I'm like? I think that's a person.
He's always defending Katie's honor. Like, there goes Ryan again. There goes Ryan again. Okay, so we get it. Of course, culture, age, and stuff. We get it.
What I'm trying to say is
silly.
This stuff they're doing together, kind of being naked around each other, or like not naked, but scantily clothed around each other.
Yeah.
This familiarity, it kind of reminds me of the old dudes in the locker room a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Which my point is, those guys aren't gay. Mm-hmm. Like they don't think of it as gay. It's just it's not that way. And I think these guys are like that too.
No. Nobody's saying gay. We're just saying the men were pedos. Okay, all right.
Like they probably saw each other's dicks theoretically here when like they probably got changed together and stuff before and after these training sessions.
Yeah, their shorts are barely covering things too.
And if you freeze it just on the right angle here, okay.
There might have been some pop out scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Where they had to edit.
They were deleted.
They
were deleted.
Yeah. There's probably a 8mm tape somewhere with all the pop-out scenes that Katie's got to mortgage her house again to buy.
I might too. To your point, we have another sunset. We're running on the beach at sunset. So romantic.
Then it's so weird. Like this run is happening at sunset, but it's gonna be broad daylight when they get to the end. But that's okay. Lastly, Alistair said that the trailer did mention that Rocky had to defend his manhood, so that was in the trailer. You can find the Random Rick Review Show. It's on YouTube. I assume you just Google Random Rick Review Show, so check them out. And I will check you out, Random. I'm Mr. Rick. I'm going to check out your show and see if you're better than us. Because if you are, I'm going to block you. Okay, here we go. All right, so they're running slowly on the beach now, slow-mo, but Rocky is gaining. Of course, we're going back to him in the gym. So now he's really dancing. He looks like John Travolta from Staying Alive here. Look at that. This is literally the same dancing from Staying Alive. He just got finished directing that film, I think, and then he did this film. So he is dancing, he is moving.
And he's happy. He's high-five or giving five to, Adrian, I assume, and Tony.
Yeah. Apollo's happy. He gets the thumbs up. Rocky's happy. He's going to dunk. Here we go. The famous. Now, why Paulie's wearing sunglasses and holding a can of beer, we don't know.
He's hungover. He's
hungover. Those of us who drink alcohol know immediately why he's doing that.
And the beer is the hair of the dog. And he's
look at the paintings in the back there. The black swimmers. This is really a black swimming pool because the men painted on the wall to show the diving techniques or black men. That's awesome.
That's true. That's cool.
Yeah, look at that. This is really a black pool. What? Come on. That's to indicate, this is really tough gym.
Yes. No, but Paulie's got a hat. Does he have a cigar? It's I
don't think he has a cigar.
No cigar, but sunglasses.
No, it's just a can of alcohol in his hand. He's holding beer in his hand. And he goes.
Love it. And Adrian
I love how much Apollo loves it. And Adrian.
Mm-hmm.
See, Random Rick is learning what we do on our podcast. That's right. He never noticed that painting. That's what we do here, folks. That's what we bring up these kind of details that no one else brings up.
True enough. Brian, I've seen this film who knows how many times, and I've never, ever noticed those people in the background before.
What do you mean those people?
What do I mean? That reminds me of that movie where, what's his name? Robert Downey Jr. was in blackface, Tropic Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where I got the line from.
It's like, what do you mean, you people? And then, like, the actual black guy says, what do you mean, you people?
Per usual, I'm going to talk about the outfits. of
Please.
Apollo and Adrian. So Adrian, this is very 80s. She has like a buttoned up collared shirt with a sweater around her shoulders. That's super 80s. And we've never really seen Adrian dress like upper crusty like that, really. But
Right.
and then Apollo's got a super awesome tank top with he's got his chain cup. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I assume the cufflinks under the shirt there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And just the stripes on his shirt there, like that gives me like childhood memories of what people used to wear. Like it's really nostalgic.
The diagonal stripes, just like a few of them. Yeah.
They did the sunset run. Now we're at a different run, but I think this is the final run. I think this is the final push.
And you see Apollo kind of looking back.
Oh yeah, he's worried. And you're right though, Rocky/Slice giving it all he's got to beat Apollo. Because I think the reason why Apollo didn't let him win, I think he's genuinely happy that Rocky won. He's genuinely happy for Rocky's victory. He gives him that victory, that vote of confidence. Because look at his face there. Even Apollo's like, he got me. He's like, he got me. But he's happy. He's not happy he lost, but he's happy for his fighter that he won. And
he is happy. I'm arguing that face is, I got him. He thinks he won. And that gives him the confidence.
No. I don't think so.
I think Apollo could do it because I still think Apollo is the uber competitive person that hates losing, but he also wins in the sense that he's accomplished his goal of getting Rocky to this point.
That's what I mean. That's part of his competition. That's right. That's part of his own competition is to make this fighter the fighter that he needs to be. So he wouldn't lie to Rocky's trainer. I think as a boxer and a champion himself, he wouldn't do that to Rocky. He wouldn't cheat Rocky's victory.
He would
so
never
much smaller than
he's
Apollo.
He's tiny
in comparison.
Like
Apollo should just go there and beat the foot of clubber. Like I don't know why. Like we've been saying this the whole show, but
these outfits are the best. They both look so good. They're different style of shorts. I like that Apollo's show his luscious booty. Sly's are looser because he doesn't have that. That's not what we're focusing on for Sly. Their outfits show off their physiques and they're hugging in the water. And I could be right there.
Katie, I feel like you're you're objectifying men here. You're seeing us as objects.
Yeah, I don't appreciate
I'm so offended. I'd never look at women that way.
Yeah, I don't
of course not.
I don't want to see women at the beach with no clothes on. That's ridiculous.
No, that's fucked up. Who would want to see that?
I mean, but
I would not want to see women hugging like this.
I feel like even straight men, there are certain men that even straight men are like, I probably would, this would be your instance where you'd be like, yeah, that looks pretty good, No,
we've talked about, I've been very clear about that. As a straight man, yes, it is nice to see the physical aesthetics of a man that's in shape. Of course, there's something aesthetically pleasing about the Greek gods. That's what our superheroes are. I don't want to see the superheroes not look like superheroes with the boxers. And that we've talked about 100 times. Of course, we'll talk about it again when we get to Rocky 6. I think the biggest flaw with Rocky Balboa is, no offense to Antonio Tarver, the real life person. He's a real boxer. He could really kick your butt in real life. Don't get me wrong. But for a movie aesthetic, it doesn't look right. We went from drag. Even Tommy Morrison had a build. Like he was big. He was a big boy and he was strong. There's no doubt about his muscles. He was a big boy. Drago, of course, was huge. Clubber, Apollo, all these big men. And then you get to Antonio Tarver, you're like, I know he's a real boxer. And that's where Sly dropped the ball in part 6. It should have been. It should have been an actor. It should have been someone like Jonathan Majors was, like that type of actor, right? Someone who can figure out how to box for the film, but who can act. I'm sorry, they dropped the ball in that one big time.
Well, plus Tarver was not a heavyweight either. Tarver is a light heavyweight.
Oh,
yeah. I don't want to get too deep into it because because we will save that. That's going to be a big discussion point for part 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is it. We're going to stop here because that's the final moment here where they've got the corded arm up. I love Sly's corded vein muscle cords ripping through his bicep there.
Yeah.
I love that.
And he has his little snarl.
I love it.
I did it, boy. I did.
Yeah.
So he's very
cool.
happy. I love it. Love it.
Oh, my mom is on here. Hey, Mom.
Oh, hey, Mom's on.
Hey, Mom. I don't know if could you make a comment about? Did we talk about the tank tops that guys used to wear in the 80s, like the ones they're like the muscle shirt, but then the stomach's cut off? I swear we were talking about like a reason they wore those. If so, could you just type it in? I do think it's good to normalize guys like touching each other because now it's like everyone's like so afraid of like no homo and stuff like that. They're like hugging another guy or having like touch like that is seen as like gay when it shouldn't.
No. I think it's awesome. We love their bromance. It's at the end of the day, it is a bromance. We love it. It's fantastic. And when we do tease it, it's because we just love it so much. That's for me, anyways. I love it. I wouldn't want it any other way. I'm glad it was the way it was in this film. I don't want it to be any different than what it is. You know, it's what makes the film amazing. Is their bromance is real. That's what makes part 4 that much sadder, which we'll get to, of course. Say to everybody, thank you so much for watching us live. We had some great views on our Instagram, so that was cool. So thank you to everyone who watched us live on Instagram. That's something we'll keep doing. Thank you to everyone who watched us live on our StreamYard and on Twitch and on Twitter. People are watching. So it's kind of cool. Again, it's the raw, unedited things that we kind of mess up on. I'll clean up for the actual audio feed that goes on iTunes. But thank you so much. Hit up Random Rick Reviews. It's the Random Rick Reviews show on RRR on YouTube. So check him out. I will. Rick, thanks for joining us. Oh, we got the answer here before we close.
Yeah, it's not really an answer. I thought it was like some other kind of reason.
Oh, no, it's just because, like Katie said,
There's
we get
no
to look
reason.
at the men. Yeah. All right.
I'm just remembering the
folks,
conversation wrong.
I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday season. Everyone was safe and happy over the holiday season. 2024 is now upon us. I want to wish everyone a happy new year. We're going to finish Rocky 3 next episode. It is going to end. So Rocky 3 is going to be our next episode will be the end of Rocky 3. And they're going to roll into right into Rocky 4. I suspect by the end of 2024, we'll be into Rocky 5. So that's pretty exciting. Well, with that, this episode is over.
I didn't hear no bell, sir.